Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is Karen, Lavender Clothesline, and today is Monday morning, and it is a chilly, snowy day here in central Pennsylvania, but we never let that stop us. We're going to go to Hanover Goodwill. This is the new location in the AC Moore old building, the old AC Moore building, something like that. And we're going to go check this store out. Now, they opened about a week ago, and I knew about it. I've been waiting for this store to open to check it out, but we had lots of other places to visit. But today we are on it. Roger and I are going to take a trip to Hanover, which is probably about 20 minutes, 25 minutes from my house. So I'm very excited for this new location because, like I always say, I love a big Goodwill. All right, hit that like and subscribe button. Let's go thrifting together. Okay, so we are at the new Goodwill. This is the new location in Hanover, Pennsylvania. And Roger and I are together. Are you excited?
I'm excited.
Let's go thrifting. So as usual, I am starting down the brown aisle. I do this especially when I'm in a new store and I want to get a lay of the land. Right away, I'm noticing how country primitive this store is. A lot of country decor, a lot of stuff from the 80s, which, truth be told, is not always my favorite. But I do start to eye this cake plate. It is a hobnail blue glass cake plate. And even though I don't want to ship it, I do consider it a few minutes, and the tag says Emily's Attic, if I can hold it still. Made in Germany. $43. I did consider it for a while. This might be a big mistake on my part, but I really didn't want to have to ship this. Sometimes I pick up items and I say, oh, this is a great item. And then I say, oh, why did I pick this up? So I'm really trying to pick up items that are easier to ship, like these nesting boxes. Now, these are just cardboard and they are country primitive, but I kind of liked this pattern. And it was kind of nice that even though they had wear, it kind of goes with the theme of it, you know, that real vintagey country. $3.99. So I say yes to that and put that right in my cart. The next item that I spot is this welcome sign. I could see this up in Maine or in Cape Cod, and just so vintagey, so fun. $3.99. Absolutely yes. So I was really excited to come to Hanover store, and it turns out that this is more like probably a good 50 minutes from my house. I thought it was going to be 20 minutes. And Roger and I were so excited to check out this new store, and to be truthful, what a disappointment. Now maybe I just hit it on, an off day, so I will return. But like I said, the majority of the items were not high profit, were not good. A lot of scrappiness and a lot of just ho-hum things. But, we made the trip all the way here. And after this store, I go to Community Aid and then on to a consignment shop. And then we wound up at an auction. And this was Valentine's Day. So a very fun day. And I will include some of that footage. So after looking at way too many brown items, I decided to go down the black aisle. But there was a gold item. Now, this was interesting to me. At first, I thought this was painted wood, but it is, a poured cast, and I thought it might be Jim Shore, even though it looked quite different from his things, and I realized that this was not Jim Shore, but kind of looked like it. $6.99, very heavy, and I didn't think it was that attractive, but well worth looking at. So here is a little glimpse of the black aisle. This was a baggie of items, and like I've shared with you guys, I almost always take a look at things in a baggie. I don't know that this stuff gets donated this way. I think Goodwill puts it together when they have, little scrappiness, but I put it right in my cart because I think this woman was waiting to get past, and I did want to take a further look at it. I don't wind up picking up any of the items, but always worth looking at. Okay, pewter or silver pilgrim set. No, thank you. The green aisle is always interesting, and truth be told, I still didn't get a little flashlight to shine on uranium glass. Not that these were uranium glass. These are just votives. I think that's put out by Home Interiors. I did take a look at it because I don't know that I've seen those votive shades in green, and I always want to see everything. And now I'm starting to spot buy this woodland fairy. Now, she's not very high quality, but I really liked the look of her. And I know fairies are such a thing. So many people have fairy gardens. If you go on Pinterest and, search for fairy gardens, it's amazing what people create. I thought she was just very fun. I loved her hair. I think my hair looks like that in the morning when you guys don't see me. And I thought that I would put her in my cart. So just very cute. Again, not really high-end. I don't know who makes her. But there was something very Amelia Bedelia endearing about her. $4.99. And I think somebody will want her. I don't know that she'll fly out of my store. But when I find unique items like this, I always take a look at the amount of detail. That's one of the criteria that I use, like how much detail was put into this thing. And I thought she was quite good. Now, she could be a famous doll that I don't know about, but I did take her, and even if I don't find out what brand she is, I'm fine with that. Okay, another paint by numbers. This one is very poorly done. I judge all paint by numbers by the subject material and how established an artist the painter was. There are some painters out there that do amazing paint by numbers. So you know that the store is not a great store, or the day is just off when I start considering Fallsgraph. I mean, I wasn't really thinking of buying it, but when I start looking at Fallsgraph this way, you know that it is slim pickings. It was a really scrappy day. And there are days like this. I thrift a lot, as you guys know. The past 10 years, I feel like I've spent my life in thrift stores, but today was especially not a good day. And somehow, magically, we are back on a beigey brown aisle. These napkin rings, both bags caught my attention. I was trying to figure out how vintage they were. Again, I sell a lot of curtain hardware. I pick up a lot of items for, dinner table. I do napkin rings, just different, very unique pieces, a lot of serving trays, things like that. Here I'm struggling to get the bag open. These reminded me of amber, and I knew they probably weren't amber, but I did want to take a look at them. But they were just a normal, I'm going to say a plastic or a lucite. They were a little bit older, but I left those behind. And now I'm looking at pine cones. I always tell the story when I first started how I sold pine cones to a buyer in England, and the thing that surprised me was that they paid $35 to have pine cones shipped. That's one of my favorite stories, and will probably be a memory for as long as I do this as a business. Okay, you're probably saying, why am I looking at these? There are homeschoolers that buy things like this, but I wanted it to be all of the presidents. And for some reason, it was just a lot of George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. Not sure what that's about. Moving on to the white aisle, lots of Corelle. Just some wedding-looking china. And again, I'm sure there is plenty of Corelle out there that probably everybody's going to say brings good money. Generally, I don't pick up Corelle, but I do like this Christmas tree dish. Look how pretty this is. Very mid-century modern. There is very old felt on the back. When I list that, I will take a look at peeling that off because that was pretty scrappy. But right in my cart that goes, $2.99, and I was glad to find something finally that seemed halfway good. So here I'm going to insert some footage. When I go to the thrift stores, I don't always find cartloads of hard goods. And I really wanted to share with you guys once again that I am primarily a clothing seller. I have just done a lot of video footage in the hard goods section because it seems to be what you guys really like. But I do go through most of the clothing in every thrift store, and it does take a very long time because generally I'm going piece by piece when it's something that I really want to find. Here I'm finding I'm going to call it a Fair Isle sweater. It's kind of abbreviated, spunky. This probably would have brought $19 to $22, and I do wind up putting that back. But pretty soon, I'm going to show you a sweater that I come across that I definitely take. So it isn't this Indigo Moon, but I am showing you this label because if that was a larger size in the X's, the plus sizes, I would have picked that up. I still do pick up Indigo Moon, but generally it has to be like a 2X or a 3X. But here I'm just quickly going down the aisle. And like I said, I don't know whether I'm at this point selling more clothing or more hard goods. It's getting quite close. And as you know, I'm Lavender Clothesline, so I started out by just selling women's clothing. But now we come to the sweater that I knew right away that I would be taking. This is St. Moritz. It is a vintage sweater. And there are so many things about this I love. Look at that ribbon embroidery of wisteria. So pretty. So this is a partial Angora sweater. Angora is still a good seller for me. I know some people can't wear rabbit Angora because it's quite itchy to some people, and other people really like it. So here I'm making sure that the shoulder pads are both in there, and they are. And in the cart it goes. This is $5.75. I'm guessing this is going to bring between $30 and $35. I will report back on Instagram with what this sweater brings. But I figured that I would just show you, a little bit of my picking up clothing, because when I get to a thrift store and there are really no hard goods to be had, I don't want to come away with nothing. I want my trip to be worth my time. Here is an Eileen Fisher sweater. I'm trying to straighten out the tag for you guys. Very awkward. And again, this is a medium. I'm still picking up quite a bit of Eileen Fisher in the larger sizes. I love when Eileen Fisher does linen, silk, lag and look. All of those keywords are really good sellers. So there I just gave you a little glimpse of me looking through sweaters. And I think this trip I probably picked up maybe only 4 or 5 items, but it does help pad the time, that you're spending in the store. It helps make your time worth it. Here is another Fair Isle sweater. This has a metallic thread. This is Alia. This is sold in the mall. Very low end. I don't pick up any Alia. And here I'm showing you, this is acrylic. You can tell right away by the amount of pilling, I'm going to call it. It's really not in great condition. 44% acrylic. Acrylic has a tendency to not wear well. And now we will just finish up with this aisle. This is really the purple aisle, and this must have come out as fresh inventory while I was on another aisle. $9.99. Again, this is linens and things, very heavy, and I was hoping the rest of the set was in the can because I knew with that packing paper and the weight of the can, there was a good chance they might have had matching pieces, and I get very lucky and there are matching pieces. So for $9.99, this is a total win. So here I'm just going to pull out a few of the pieces. This is the soap dispenser, or it could be used for lotion. I'm sorry, did I say linens and things? Bed Bath & Beyond. And I always test the pump to make sure it's in good working order. And I'm sure the person who donated it was good enough to pack it. This is a beautiful, like a real royal, I think it's called Monticello. I can't read the tag from here. Montecito, I think it is, if I remember right. I'll check on that for you guys. And Austin Horn Classics, hand-painted. This looks unused to me. There is the soap dish. You could see the real royal or regal look to it. People love this kind of thing. And here is the cup. So I believe there was 5 pieces altogether. And everything was in great condition. $9.99, I was thrilled. So here is the set. I set it up on a shelf so you guys can get a good look at it. $9.99, that's phenomenal. That's like $2 a piece. Yes, please. I will sell these pieces individually. So after leaving Goodwill in Hanover, Roger and I stopped at the Community Aid thrift store. And again, I really didn't find too much. So we decided to pull into the parking lot of Finders Keepers. This is in New Oxford, and this is a consignment store. Now, I generally don't shop too much in consignment stores because, in my opinion, the prices are a little bit high because it includes another middleman. But I thought it would be fun to pop into this store. From the window, it looked like they had some good things, and I liked the way the pricing system worked. Now, I've seen this before where a piece has an initial price, and then every month the price gets lower and lower until the item is about half price. And that half price mark generally to me is almost like a thrift store price. So right away the frog caught my attention. I thought he was an iron frog first, but he tricked me, so I put him back. So the pink tag is the current tag. That is the new inventory. Here are some Anna Lee rabbits. I should say one Anna Lee rabbit. I have sold quite a few of these. And then the blue tag is 1 month old, and then the yellow tag, items wound up being close to half off. So those were the tags I was looking for. And I'm sure people local to the store probably stop in, and look for the color tag of the week, because you can score some really good things. Again, this is Finders Keepers. Look at that drop leaf table. That's a pretty one. And here I'm just giving you a shot of what the store looks like. Really nice items, very clean. I really liked that picture. So here I'm going to gently open the cabinet door and take a look at this picture. And they wanted $24.95 for it. I thought that was quite good. And I was supposed to run a comp on that, and I forgot. Oops. Sometimes when I'm filming, I get wrapped up in a new store, and this was number 131, and I forget to run a comp. I don't know that that will make it to half price, but boy, is that pretty. They just called it a brown picture. They didn't attribute it to anybody. Even this corner cabinet was pretty. So Roger is already halfway down the store. He really doesn't sell a lot of this type of thing, but in the end, he wound up doing better than I did. The man has a really good eye for shopping. So this was a silk embroidered bird picture. I really like when they use textiles of some sort, whether it be buttons or jewelry or different beaded pieces to create scenes under glass. I thought these little bowls were pretty. Initial price $3.95. See, so you can really pick up some items that are like thrift store prices. The vase to the left looked rose medallion to me, but it was not. It was just two little figures, very poorly painted. Look at that punch bowl. I love a good punch. In this area, there is so much Longaberger. Pottery, baskets, the cloth inserts, linens, it just goes on and on. So leave a comment down below if you know somebody or you yourself are still collecting Longaberger baskets. I remember when they were at the height of selling and any basket would sell. That has definitely cooled, but here is another piece of pottery. Now, my experience has been that the pottery did not sell as well as the holiday baskets. I still do fairly well with the holiday baskets, the Christmas ones, Easter ones. I thought this was very pretty. And for some reason, this had a different sticker on it. It did not have where the price gets lower by the month. Again, this area has so much primitive country. They have a lot of quilts. So if you're looking for quilts, this is a good area to come to, although it's very hard to score a bargain for a quilt because most local people know what they have. This little art glass mushroom caught my attention. I think they were trying to guess on Urano. It's probably misspelled, which I should not talk because I am a horrible speller. And I didn't really find it that attractive, but I did take a look at it. Matched my nail polish, so that's fun. Again, I did not pick up anything from this store. It was beyond my price point. I really try to pick up pieces that are at a really good price point. But after this, we went to the auction and I did buy quite a bit. So I'm going to show you guys what I actually wound up with from the day so that you can see what I bought. All right, guys, stay tuned for my auction haul. All right, I'm going to give you a little brief overhaul of the items that I wound up picking up and letting you know what I paid for them and where I found them. So the first item is this gorgeous geode rock, and it is on a carved wood interlocking stand. This geode is really a good size. This is my fist next to it, so you get a sense of scale. Just beautiful, and it's got kind of like a fossilized look to it. And then all crystals inside. And let me grab my bill so I can see what I paid for it. I paid $15 for it, and that was at the auction. Next up is the mid-century modern Christmas tree dish, $2.99. I found that one in Goodwill. The heart sign that I felt should be hung outside like a Maine cottage or something like that along the eastern shore. And I believe I paid $3.99 for that in Goodwill. This was the find of the trip. I won this in the auction and I paid $22 for it. I couldn't believe it. So they are steer horn. This is natural horn. Somebody made this and they mounted it on a wood plaque. And truth be told, I think I might keep this and hang this in my living room. I will keep you updated if I actually keep it or not. Just phenomenal. Beautifully made with leather strapping and nailhead trim. I've seen these before go for well over $100 on eBay. And this is what the back looks like. So you can see, somebody made this and it has a hook for hanging along with some dust. Next up is this blanket that I probably paid too much for. I believe I paid $40 for this. I must have been crazy. And I just love this print and I think it'll do well. And this is, I believe, Esmond. Let me check. Esmond blanket, Rhode Island. Vintage, gorgeous shape, but it's the pattern that'll carry this. This beautiful Aztec, tribal, all the good keywords. And it's in very good condition. I will have to wash this, so figure out how I'm cleaning it because I have to be really careful with this one. And I think this is 100% wool. I don't know that it has the material content in it, but I'll have to comp that and find that out. Next up is a tumbler and pitcher set. I've sold these before. Bright colors, definitely vintage, and I paid $14 for it. So that might have been a little bit high. Here is a gorgeous little native vase, and it's all hand painted. This I paid $3.99 for. This might be a little paint pot. I don't know much about this type of pottery, but look at this. This is all hand painted. I thought this was very good. I did not comp it. I just felt that this was definitely worth the $3.99, and I found this in Community Aid along with this piece here. Again, I don't know much about it, and when I first saw it, I thought it was odd for it to have a butterfly on it when it looks like such a vintage piece. But it is vintage. It's made in USA, and I think it's McCoy. I think that's what that says. I'm going to have to wet the bottom and see if I can figure out what that says. Maybe not a McCoy. I thought it was gorgeous, and I said yes to it. And standing behind the vase is this guy. How great is he? Look at that face. I love him. And he's just made out of a resin, but he's quite heavy. And I thought somebody would want him for their garden or something like that. And I paid, are you ready for this? $7.50 at the auction. And he needs a good cleaning. He's quite dusty. This I showed in the video. This is nesting boxes, just made out of cardboard. But I thought they were quite good. And $3.99 for 3 of them. So I was happy to find that. And last but not least, the Bed Bath & Beyond set, the bathroom set, 5 pieces, great shape, and I paid $9.99 for those. So not a terribly high volume day, but I'm very happy with these finds. And sometimes that happens. I thrift a lot, and a lot of times I'm bringing home, carloads, 2 and 3 carts. Sometimes I've gotten up to 10 carts of inventory, but other days I can thrift and shop all day and just come home with a few pieces, but I love the pieces. So that was the case yesterday. Thanks so much for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button, and as always, go out and get what's yours.